Starfleet Underground. Every week, we'll take a look at the latest Star Trek news and then check out a current or classic episode of Star Trek. Things get a little slippery in the shower when the gravity fails. And why is the replicator food more shitty than usual? Did Trip get roofied and taken advantage of by alien sexual space predators? Find out what happens when someone clings on to a Klingon. And put both of your hands in there. It's totally just a game.
These deck plates are cold. Where the hell are my slippers? Damn it, I almost put my foot up that Tribble's ass. Oh shit, the light's on. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us here at Starfleet Underground, where I promised them, because they were visiting not too long ago, that I would do it in the beginning of the show. This show is brought to you by Section 31. Why? One day, I swear, we'll find out exactly why. Hi, my name is Nathan. I'm captain of this one.
Sir,
yes.
yes. The TribbleFilter's still on. Let me turn that off real quick.
Damn it, okay. I look like a Tribble again?
Okay, you're good to go. They got into the comm system again. I swear, it won't happen again. They got into the comm system.
Hell?
And yeah, I never heard a Tribble laugh so hard the other day when you actually were on with the Admiral. You were on with the Admiral, and you were looking like a Tribble.
That's when they saw him naked.
And I look like a Tribble.
I am not a Tribble.
That's what I told him. He was like, "Are you a Tribble?" I am not the Tribble. And
the only reason I knew to look into the comm system panel was I heard a Tribble laugh so hard. I heard it from across the corridor.
Well, that's because Adams was naked. That's why.
No, not naked. I wonder what would happen if they get opposable thumbs. We're really screwed.
Hashtag TribbleCaptain.
No, TribbleCaptain. I saw that too. It was in my dress uniform because it was supposed to be an affair. And here I am talking to Starfleet Command, and I was a friggin' Tribble.
He had no idea. We sorry about that, sir.
I'm on live. I'm not a Tribble.
I am not an animal. I am not a Tribble. I am human.
Okay, John Merrick.
I am a meat popsicle.
I am live. I am here. I am not a Tribble.
We need to get when we get the captcha thing to work right on our website. We're going to have a checkbox to check. I am not a Tribble. So whenever you email us to the website, you just checkbox. I am not a Tribble.
Perfect.
See, I don't know why they're going to do that. See, they did it to me, but with Heather, they made her have Tribble boobies. So I don't know what's up with that.
If you're a queen, we need one that says I'm not a cat.
Well, the one that was really embarrassing was when they gave me Tribble Armpits.
That was really gross.
Wait a minute, I just thought that was natural.
That's not her natural hair color.
No.
Okay. If it was natural, Heather would have had them braided with little braids coming down and put tassels on them on bows.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, little bells.
Speaking of which, we have our science officer who likes to braid arm hair. Go ahead.
About her Ferris. I'm the science officer, and I like to braid leg hair too.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That should get Patrick excited. Patrick?
Not girl leg hair. Sorry. That doesn't do a damn thing for me. Anyway, I'm Patrick. I'm number one. I'm the tech computer guy, and I'm also the foreign species liaison. Good morning. What's going on?
And then we have our engineer. Just before I introduce you, I'm going to review the security footage, and I better not see the Tribbles just strangely have rocky fingers. So they did the filter, because sometimes I wonder if you guys put it on the Tribble.
So I swear to God, that Tribble did not hand me a 20 before that happened. I'm sorry. I swear to God, I accepted no credits from the Tribble.
Mm-hmm. It's just like having a bad sibling at the house. Who did it? It was George did it. So we'll see. Go ahead. And Rocky.
Hi, I'm Rocky. I'm the engineer of the show and of the ship.
Woohoo! And thanks everybody for joining us. We got any corrections for last week, or did we have a flawless podcast again?
Let me check subspace, but I don't recall seeing anything. Nope. No subspace communications.
Flawless victory. So outstanding. So that's a good thing. I'm glad for that. Now, since we've got that out of the way, anybody's got any news? Anyone?
Sure. Well, two things. One, it's my Aunt Boo's birthday. Hello. Happy birthday, Aunt Boo. I know you're probably not going to listen to this, but happy birthday anyway.
Happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
The second thing was showrunners are promising to make the short Trek Calypso fit into the Discovery timeline. And you might remember that Calypso was one of the short treks where Kraft was alone on Discovery with a sentient AI. They are promising to tie that in one way or another.
That'd be interesting. I'm looking forward to see how they're going to craft. So that's going to be pretty cool.
I want to see more of the character of the ship develop. That'll be cool to see.
Because it's supposed to be 1,000 years without the crew, and she's evolved. So why didn't we see more dots on Calypso?
Where were the dots?
Well, if she's an AI, maybe she doesn't need a
disco dot. Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe the crew took the dots with them.
Oh, no. Disco dots, disco dots. Don't be it. Okay, never mind. That song is entirely too old for any of you people to know it.
Wasn't there a disco duck? Yeah,
yes.
That's the one I remember.
That's what I was trying to do, but I cannot sing. So there's that. Next, we have Rocky. You got any news for us, or you're useless?
Yeah. Well, I am useless, but I do have some news. There's a book out. There's a book that's coming out for those who wondered what happened in the year between Burnam getting the trip to the future versus Discovery and finding Discovery. So there's a gap of a year, and we don't know what happened. Well, it's all in a book.
Yay, sexual tension.
Cool. Maybe some of that. But we'll get a story of what happened during that year. This news is so new that we actually don't know the title of the book yet, and we don't have a cover picture, don't have any of that, but we know it's written by the same person that wrote the first Star Trek Picard book, and she did the autobiography for Captain Janeway. So
are they going to have the beginning of it be like Conan O'Brien go, in a year, 3,000?
Yes, that's right. Oh, yes, that's a classy pool right there, sir. Una McCormick is the author, and looking forward to seeing what happened in the year between.
Is she a sister to Maureen McCormick?
Did I say the wrong name?
No, I'm saying, is she a sister to Maureen McCormick?
I have no idea. I just read
Marsha.
The thing says this, and I just go with that, and yeah.
You didn't get just didn't get it.
I have no idea what you're talking about, except I know Marsha.
Maureen McCormick played Marsha, and you said the author's name was Linda McCormick. I said, is she her sister?
I don't know the Brady
But you're too freaking slow to freaking pick up on shit.
I'm sorry. I'm in Northern California. I'm a little slower up here.
Look out, football.
You got to be careful with that. Patrick is a big fan of all of her dresses. Okay.
Nice.
The only news that go ahead, Heather. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say I don't have any news because I'm actually up here in the lab checking out this magnitude 7.0 magnitude earthquake that hit Japan in 2021. It hit near Miyagi, Japan around 8 a.m. on February the 13th. So I don't have any news because I am checking out all the data and stats and recordings and everything from that.
And you're not allowed because that's interference in the timeline. We don't want the temporal police coming at you, give people heads up on what's going on after the fact.
I got in too much trouble last time.
So you said it's in Miyagi. Is that wax on, wax off?
Karate Kid fans, if you haven't seen Cobra Kai yet on Netflix, I guess it came out on YouTube first and then they moved it to Netflix.
Yep.
Oh my God. I was like, Cobra Kai, whatever. I don't need to see that.
It's good.
But it is fucking awesome.
It's very good.
I binged through all 3 seasons and then I got to the end. I'm like, I got to the end. Damn. But it is so good.
Well, good news is that they are filming the last season already, the next 4 seasons.
So there is a 4th season. Oh, great. That's going to be awesome. Thumbs up, like 2 thumbs right up there. It's really good.
And there's already a rumor. Who's going to be the new bad they're introducing. So
Lindsey Graham.
I don't want to give any spoilers. Nope. I don't want to give Lady G will not be on there. So
Mitch McConnell.
No. There's no
evil turtles.
Nope,
evil turtle shells.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
No, well, Mitch McConnell's a turtle, so.
And we're supposed to be careful with this stuff, dude. Remember?
I'm remembering.
And news that I have, this is rumor. How true it is, I don't know. So we don't know if it's going to be really true or what. But there is rumor that Archer is going to be making an appearance in Picard somewhere. How that's going to happen, I have no idea, because the time between Picard and that is tremendous between when Captain Archer was around and there.
Wouldn't he be
it's
like
just a
so
rumor.
old?
But it must have been some kind of temporal anomaly. Not that we want to get the temporal police involved in our podcast, but
Maybe he comes back as a hologram. Like, you know how they have the hologram of like the scientist and Einstein and that kind of thing.
Lots of holograms going. Maybe it could be a backup to the backup of the backup on the ship.
Yeah, but you got to be careful in those holodecks. You don't stick your hand in any weird telepathic pebbles.
Yeah, that's true.
There should have been a warning sign on those.
I mean, warning signs for days.
Yeah, I don't want to see extra nipples on your arm, Patrick.
I had no idea that's what she was into, and you don't know until you stick your hand in by accident. And
well, we're going to have to talk about that because I have thoughts. So we're going to talk about that once they get started. So I guess this is a good segue for us to get started.
Woo! Okay, Captain. This week we are doing Star Trek Enterprise Season 1, Episode 5, Unexpected. It first aired October 17th, 2001. The teaser, Nudist. We start off with an unexpected glimpse of Archer taking a shower. I can never unsee that.
I want to see more.
No.
Oh, goodness, no.
It's not a modern day Scott Bacula. It's a classic day Scott Bacula.
Because woof woof. Hello, Daddy.
Okay, so the crew has a troubleshooting problem with the gravity, causing Archer and the water to float around like wet blobs. Luckily, they fix the problem fast. Unluckily, Archer has a serious fall in the shower.
And luckily, they had some sort of design to keep you from seeing Archer's Archer. So
from seeing Archer's arrow,
you didn't see the captain's balls.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see Archer's arrow. Damn it!
And remember, everyone talks about how we got
to see his treasure trail.
Yeah, there's a problem with the microgravity or whatever on different decks. That was an interesting opening to show you how Star Trek tried to bring sexy in, because either it's going to be a decontam thing, or you're going to have somebody being shirtless, or somebody going to get rubbed down with lube oil during the decontamination.
You know what, though? Yeah. I've got to give them a high five for the attempt on the effects work, because simulating zero G, we know what it looks like because we have people up in the space station now. We've been watching videos from them for a while. So we know what that looks like, and they try to pull it off on ground. And I got to give them a high five for attempting that. And it looked pretty cool, except when you're starting to be skeptical and you're like, okay, Archer's hair, I know it's wet, but it still doesn't look zero G. And then all of the blobs of water have zero interaction with the walls.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason why his hair stayed like that. It didn't float up, is because he used Gorilla Glue.
You're not supposed to wash your hair with fucking Gorilla Glue. Don't you guys have Twitter?
Gorilla Glue is not for your hair.
I felt so bad for her. So bad for her.
So there's that.
But you know what? I want to know where the hell are the sonic showers?
Not there yet.
You know?
Or the captain's got a privilege. It might be a captain's privilege.
And he just likes the feel of real water rather than the sonic vibration going up and down. A lot of people said they don't like the sonic showers because it feels like a bunch of little angry ants running up and down.
Some people like the sonic showers for other reasons. But sometimes you just need to get clean, and that's not what they want to use them for.
Well, that's why Starfleet decided that the sonic shower would not have a directional head, because of the way some people focus the sonic waves. So that wasn't a good thing.
Yeah. It's all or nothing, baby.
So that was an interesting first scene, and it segued into the beginning really
quite a fall, though. It's comical, but
he
holy
must
cow,
have been smarting.
They should at least give it an announcement. Oh, we lost gravity. Hang on, guys, we're gonna turn it back on in 3, 2. Give me a heads up, please. Not just boom on. I'm sure somebody got yelled at for that.
Yeah, there was no warning on that.
Right? And Archer, how old is he? He can't be falling in the shower like that. Come on.
Yeah, he's not like a teenager.
Yeah, seriously.
They don't bounce.
That would have been bad. Seriously, we lost the captain. What happened? Oh, the gravity came back on when he's in the shower.
He fell in the fucking shower in space.
Yeah, and he wound up breaking his neck.
Captain broke another hip. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's why they invented the sonic showers.
Yeah, it's a safety issue.
Didn't want all that slipping and sliding going on.
Nope, I can see that for a fact. Okay, then we can move into the next section because I don't believe anything happened yet because we need to talk about the replicator room. Go ahead.
Okay, sounds good. So moving on to Act 1, Cloaked Commuter. During breakfast, T'Pol orders carbonated water from the replicator, but instead gets a yogurt's serving of shit. Actual shit. Replicator malfunction. So Trip is having some troubleshooting issues as well when we see the warp core burst into flames. They have to drop out of warp and figure out, oh hey, there's a hitchhiker tailing the ship. That's why all this stuff's happening. Enterprise offers to help by sending them Trip. Unfortunately, the aliens' decontamination process is a bit suffocating.
So the way you said Trip had troubleshooting issues, you said Trip had trouble shooting issues. And I was like, there's a little blue pill for that.
I didn't hear it like that the first time. That's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
That's what I heard. I'm like, oh, he's got trouble shooting, huh? Okay, well,
Yeah, we have modern technology. We have science. We have ways to fix that.
Hop on your phone and get on Roman.
Apparently, it didn't affect his ability to impregnate. So
or the other way around.
To be impregnated.
Oh my God. And that's like my biggest fear is to go and want a vanilla milkshake or a vanilla malted, and it comes out to be semi-solid diarrhea.
Yeah, and you'd never know. So you got to be careful what you order out of the soft serve.
Seriously, you always got to do a smell test.
If a replicator is taking your shit and re-mouth doing whatever to make food, and then there's a troubleshooting problem and it malfunctions, oh my God, that's disgusting.
Now, at least it was obvious.
She had
Are the replicators in this time actually using our fecal matter for food, or is that just in the future?
No, that was shit. That was shit right there.
I think they have some liberties because the captain always gets this wonderfully prepared meal from the cook. I mean, I'm sure they have some replicated food involved in that, but the captain's meals, I've noticed in Enterprise, are always a more decadent kind of a meal going on.
They probably have half and half, and because he's the captain, he gets the real food while the rest of the crew has to do the shit food.
They've got some frozen stuff on board, and they can get the good stuff.
There's a thing. Some stuff is replicated. Stuff with simple matrices is easy to replicate,
like your face,
but other things no. So it's a combination of real food and replicated food. You're right. But the captain does have his private cook, which we get a chance to see him with his bear. It was Neelix. You're right. So it was definitely, and then to find out there's an invisible hitchhiker, which that's wild.
Back to the Future skateboarding is what these aliens were doing.
Yes, where they grab onto the truck,
back, hiding behind the mirror, and getting a free ride.
Yep.
And come on, if you're doing that, you kind of figure like, okay, how long does it take for us to fuck up somebody's engines? Just stay away from doing that. I mean, what the hell?
They essentially stuck a banana in their tailpipe.
They might have been nice. They might have been innocent, but they knew for damn sure that their hitchhiking was screwing up the other ship's systems because it happened multiple times. So they knew that would happen if they hitchhiked onto another ship.
I love the fact that they showed the translator working, how it actually started to hone in on what the words.
It's getting a little bit better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, translator's working a lot better, and as more episodes we get into it, it seems to function a little bit better. It definitely got them. Do not harm us.
You are misusing us. Don't hurt us.
I think we just got a trans remix or something.
So Trip has the badge on him, and he goes over to the alien ship, and then the translator's on the badge, and then that's why him and that alien were able to get it on.
I think the aliens also had better translators on their side that just wouldn't use it on the Enterprise side of things.
Well, you know what was funny is Trip was like going to go 3 days on an alien ship. For some reason or another, and you guys probably won't get this, Nathan may, but it reminded me of the song by the Split Ends called 6 Months in a Leaky Boat.
Yeah.
I mean, do any of you guys know that?
Yeah.
I just spent 6 months in a leaky boat.
Yeah.
6 months in a leaky
he
boat.
definitely was. And how he was getting kind of, did he go? No, this part he doesn't go over to the ship yet, does he?
Yeah. He's just in the airlock. By the end, he's getting in the airlock, and that's kind of frightening. You can't breathe your air right, and it's burning your lungs.
He doesn't know what they look like either.
Yep.
He didn't bring a camera this time, though. Why isn't he bringing his camera? He had the camera last week. Now he doesn't have the camera. If you're going to go visit some freaky aliens that are hitchhiking, take your fucking camera.
Exactly.
Maybe it couldn't get through Decon.
And he's going to spend 3 hours in Decon. Where was his Game Boy or his phone to play things or something like that?
Or his Kindle.
Right.
Yeah, really, to do some reading on tech manuals. It's just like he's going over.
That has to be scary, though, when you get into a decon chamber and all of a sudden this gas starts pouring in. You're like, what the frickin' frack, man?
And you start feeling all these symptoms and you have to be in there for an hour.
And the voice comes on and says, it's okay. Just relax. We're killing you slowly. Keep
just
breathing.
Breathe regularly. Breathe normally.
Respirate.
You have no idea if these people telling the truth or anything. It's like, Captain, I could be a buffet table.
They're like, free dinner.
Doing.
Well, hey, we've seen Tripp's basket. That would be a nice dinner.
They're like, respirate normally. Everything's fine. Oh, yeah. We'll use the brown sauce tonight. Yes, totally.
He goes in there and he brings his Walkman and everything, and all of the songs have to do with breathe or breathing.
There you go.
So it's like, oh my God. And he's sitting there and he's getting claustrophobic and he's freaking out. And he's like, he doesn't know what to expect, what the ship's going to look like. So it was truly a first contact. So yeah, it was truly a first contact. They have no idea, no nothing. So that was pretty cool. I guess the next section.
Well, actually, I wanted to just mention a couple things here.
Of course.
So when they discovered that there's a ship in their plasma, what's your first reaction? What would you think you would do normally? And what they did, they blasted them and ignited the exhaust. And
they shot at it.
It kind of like, did that not seem a little bit aggressive to you? Because
yes,
slow yield.
It's like when you've got a clogged pipe, do you pour some Drano down it? Do you rotor-rooter that sucker? You don't pour down gasoline and light it off with a grenade.
You don't?
Well, they did a Dr. Pimple. Okay. There was something behind them, and they wanted to send it off. So it's like, let's squeeze it and see what happens.
And then, my other note was with T'Pol and getting breakfast in the morning, and she's like Phlox is giving her a hard time because she's having the same thing every time.
Oh,
she's
that's
like,
right.
I'm used to having this for breakfast. It's what I have for breakfast. I don't want to explore the human food. I'm not into it. She just wants what she has, and I kind of relate to that because I like to eat the thing I like to eat,
Plus, she couldn't even stand the smell of it. She's like, I'm not eating it. I can't even stand smelling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like when she goes carbonated water and Phlox is like, oh, being adventurous.
Hey, you haven't lived till you had carbonated water. It's out of this world, man.
It's so retro, man.
Oh my God, you're getting crazy.
Yeah. I was like, slow down, girl.
Your next section.
Okay, Act 2, Conception. Trip has a hard time adjusting, which subsides after Archer orders him to take a nap. When he awakens, he is feeling much better and even perks up when hand-fed water crystals. Electrifying. Now that he's feeling better, Trip fixes the warp coils real fast. In fact, he even has some time to visit a rainbow-filled holographic prison room that was designed in the 90s. We see Trip's first ever experience with the holodeck, and instead of exploring, they play a board game. Right when things get interesting, the coils come back on, and Trip returns to his ship, and the aliens leave. Everything on the Enterprise has been fixed while Trip was away, and they return to their journey. Then Trip notices a large pimple on his wrist. He gets it checked out, and the doctor delivers the good news. Trip is pregnant.
Well, what I thought was really interesting was that when Trip gets onto their ship and he finally sees, who the aliens are, the Zorillians, I'm thinking, wait a minute, is this Star Trek or is this Doctor Who and we've got the Silurians?
Yeah, I look like that.
There's only so many names you can figure and so many ways you can put a mask on person.
Yeah, I'm like, I thought this was the Silurians from Doctor Who. I'm like, what's going on here, man? Is this a crossover episode?
Maybe that's where they got the inspiration.
Another thing that I get when I get on the ship is like, why so far in Enterprise, I never noticed it before, that every female alien is like built like, Amazon type. These all get killer figures, every single one.
Bow chicka wow wow.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, from the people that ate butterflies from the first episode.
Butterflies makes you thin.
Oh, maybe that's why.
Yeah, where's the thick girls at?
And this girl,
I like
all she's eating,
cannot lie.
All this girl is eating is grass and greens that are grown on the wall. So no wonder why Yeah, no wonder why she's looking like that.
But then he gets on. First, he has an LSD trip.
Mm-hmm.
They fix him. He's trying to fix the
Total
ship.
shroom.
Oh, wow.
Picture yourself on a hill.
It's that classic thing as an audio person. If you slow down the audio just a little bit, everybody starts to sound drunk. Just a little bit, everybody starts to sound drunk.
Yep.
That's exactly what the scene was. Every time you see him aboard that ship in that first moment where he's adapting to it all, he's like tripping Slo-Mo. And you get a call from him on the ship. Archer gets a call and he sounds totally fine, totally normal. Completely different experience on Trip's side.
Mm-hmm.
And you figure, I understand Trip's point of view. He just got on an alien ship. He doesn't know these people. He doesn't know what they're going to do. And they kind of feels drugged and they just look at him and go, you just go to sleep for a while.
He's like, no, I'm ready to work. We're going to work, damn it. I'm macho. I'll suck it up. That's a suck it up mentality. But yeah,
I'm not going to sleep and waking up and find out you molested me and then I'm end up pregnant.
That's right. He's like, oh no, I'm good. I'm good. Let's do this.
I'm not going to do it. And please talk about date rape. That alien, she looked at him. It's like, you're looking kind of hot.
Maybe that's when they did impregnate him, was when he was out cold in the first hour, because that little board game they were playing, I don't see how she could have done it then. It must have been while he was out.
It did not seem super sexy, but it did seem like, it's just a little game we play.
They weren't even touching hands.
She knew. The look on her face, she knew that wasn't a regular board game. You could tell. She's like, oh yeah, this is a board game. Are you sure? Yes, I'm positive.
Yeah. He's like, Trips. She's like, I'm only going to put the tip in.
Exactly.
Oh my God. So it's like the person you meet for the very first time. Hey, you want to play a board game? Sure. I got this, strip poker sex board game we can play. It'll be fine. No worries. It's all
like
good.
A good time. Just relax. It'll be good.
It's a normal one. Yeah.
Just let me stroke your face a little. It'll be fine.
Okay. Now take off your clothes.
Really.
Oh, you rolled a 69.
And Trip is just a freaking horn dog, man. I mean, come on. He's like eyeing her like she's, a hot dog on a stick. Come on.
He's just there for the experience. He's happy to be there and he's feeling better. And he's like,
and she made the first move though. She's like,
oh yeah,
I find you attractive. He's like, and you like it when people find you attractive, don't you?
Oh yes, you do.
What I'm confused about is Trip is a human engineer. Well, what the fuck does he know about Tera-phasic coils?
He studies. He reads the magazines. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, trade magazines.
Yeah, they got the the internet, the space internet. They always look at hotengineering.com.
Intergalactic engineering.
Like, Tera-phasic drive of the week. Oh,
just the tip.com.
And this is
if that's not a website, it should be.
Oh my God, we lost Patrick.
Oh my God, I'm gonna Google that up. Let me see if
computer person down.
That was a good one. I gotta say, I cracked me up.
It's available. It's not on the net. You should go register that. Just
it's available.
Justthetip.com.
My God, I cannot believe. Maybe we should get that so no one else can get that.
You seriously lost Patrick. He's done. He's done. Oh my God, is he done?
I did love the 90s style of the holodeck. I thought that was kind of
that was so.
It was so. It looks like somebody's cheap bad umbrella or coat. Did they make coats out of that shit?
They should have put on some roller skates and gone roller skating.
Right. All they needed was a disco ball.
Right.
Well, they were just waiting for Trip to get naked for that.
Yeah.
They were going to disco his balls.
And this is the episode where it's the very, very first appearance of a holodeck technology in human history.
And what do they do in it? They fuck in the holodeck.
He goes and gets pregnant.
Totally.
And you hear that later from, what's his name? What's
Reed?
the other guy? Yeah, Reed. He's like, wonder what they do in there, huh?
Yeah. Reed's like, if we only had one of those on board, I can only imagine what it would be used for.
I can imagine too.
Well, we got filters for that. And,
Yeah,
Exactly.
We figured it out.
And that's when the filters are born.
and the filters have to be replaced.
Interesting scales, baby.
Sex, masturbation, kinky shit that's safe.
You can do all the programs.
Yeah, Olympic trading room.
Yes, the totally nude Olympic training room.
JustTheTip.com trading room.
You know? So it's like, wow.
I can't believe that cracked me up so bad. I don't know why.
You thought food on the walls and grass on the floor was wild. Oh my God. Check out their holodeck.
This is what we do for fun.
And she probably knew. She's like, okay, this is a human. He looks freaky. He looks different from us, but he's kind of hot. So let's give it a shot.
She took him back to her place.
Let's see if there's any electrical attraction. So let me give him some Jello shots.
I was like, Lennon Tucker sitting in a tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
Yeah, man, it was perfect. It was perfect. The Jello shots, the sparkling personality. She took him back home.
We know what type she likes. She likes the alien type.
She got it on
a
the
romantic
boat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a romantic boat. That's the only thing Trip needed to stand up and go, I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. You know, but yeah, he went there and have no idea that's what she did. It just reminds me of this old joke we had one time where this guy insults a random person on the street and he kicks him in the testicles and the guy just looks at him and he goes, what? And he kicks him again. And the guy just looks at him and he goes, I can't believe you're not doing it. And he reaches out and he rubs the guy's ear, the guy who we kicked. And he goes, why you keep rubbing my ear? And he rubs his ear again. He says, I'm going to kick you in the balls again if you do it. And he rubs him in his ear again. So he kicks him again as hard as he can. He goes, I don't believe it. This doesn't bother you? And he goes, no. He goes, what the hell are you? He goes, oh, I'm an alien. It's like an alien and you don't have any balls? He goes, no. He goes, how do you reproduce? And he reaches out and rubs the guy's ear.
Greetings, Earthling.
You know, so it could be the whole thing that
You've
you
been
didn't know.
probed.
Yeah,
He's
really.
been probed.
Do you guys remember what the name of the homeworld is?
I didn't remember the name of her for all of that. I mean,
Farah.
Farah?
Like Theraflu.
Or pheromones.
Oh, okay.
Farah.
TH.
Thera. Farah.
Thera. Okay. Well, in Thera,
Cool.
So she took him home.
take the boat ride, baby.
Maybe those little psychic pebbles were her parents.
Oh, my.
Well, that's a good point.
It was really funny to get there, and Phlox is like, guess what? It's like, what?
You're going to love this. Hold on a second. I'm going to laugh a little for you're pregnant, dude.
Yes, it's like, serious. He's like, what?
Did you get your fuck on, sir?
And I
you
love
have
that
any
they
fun?
know what horn dog he is because nobody believed him. So Paul
Yeah.
is like, yeah, right, sure. And Archer's got his eyebrow going on, and Phlox is like, dude.
And to Paul's like, one of the first things a diplomat learns is not to stick his fingers where they don't belong.
Yeah.
It's like,
That
but I
was
didn't
funny.
do it. I was a
And
perfect
he's-
gentleman.
I had the big kick. He's got this huge nipple on his hand or his arm, and he's sitting there and he's eating the breakfast. He's got like 4 Denny's
Okay,
Grand
we're
Slams.
definitely into the next section now. Let's
Oh,
move
the
on.
next section.
Now
Yeah.
that's the next. I'm sure.
No, all of you guys are in the next
I'm
section.
sure it's not the next section yet.
Yep.
I think he
Yeah.
had the breakfast before
If
the
our-
next section.
No, if our
Nope.
science officer says it is, I'll
Okay,
acquiesce with
Yeah.
her because
I won't
she
argue.
never argue with the person that uses actual paper to take notes.
Good point.
Okay, so moving on. Act 3, Hormonal Changes. Trip is in medbay, swearing up and down that he did not go around poking no aliens, although they did hold hands for a while when playing that game. It starts with mood swings, heightened emotions, and then he grows his second nipple. Archer and the doctor try to prepare him for taking care of a child in the long term, but on the bright side, Trip will be in the history books as this is the first interspecies male pregnancy ever involving a human. T'Pol notifies him that they have found the ship, and everyone rushes to the bridge just in time to see a Klingon battle cruiser.
Well, it's the first time a male's been impregnated, a human male's been impregnated, period.
They never saw that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito, right?
Well,
Yeah, no, they never saw
that
that.
doesn't count.
That's a different timeline.
That's hilarious.
It was definitely, the fact that he's trying to hide it from the crew and he's walking around in a maternity shirt. And
Yeah.
He's being all oversensitive. You see these rails? These rails aren't regulation. It's a death trap.
That was the only problem I had with this episode. I mean, it was a little bit over the top. It was kind of silly that he's looking at the handrails and the little lift and thinking a poor kid could get hurt. I'm like, how often do you guys have little kids in this section of the ship? But
it's basically him being over emotional and exploding for something so small and insignificant.
It did look like it would take his fingers right off. I was more upset at the fingers. That's why
you don't put your hands there.
That little sequestration guy that Scotty has on Enterprise. I mean, that guy could have gotten his hands caught in there.
He's a shorter operative.
That's true.
Yeah, but he's like the engineer guy said. It's like, why would you put your hands there?
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
Don't ever put your hands there.
They got a point, though. That's a hell of a design flaw. So just don't put your fingers here. There should be a big fucking sign in like bright pink letters.
Well, working mothers always have to look out for their, for the people around them.
That was so funny. Trip is like, I never had any intention of becoming a working single mother. And I'm thinking neither did majority of like single working mothers out there.
It's not a plan that people typically plan,
Right. Nobody plans for that. Nobody wants to do that.
Well, he's going to be putting those nipples to work before he knows it.
And it's like people are talking about me. People are mentioning me. Nobody was talking about you, dude. You walked in. That's a natural reaction for everyone to see who walked in the lunchroom.
Hypersensitive.
And he's thinking everybody's talking to him. He's being overly sensitive. And having nipples on his wrist, I think that's really cool because you just like talk to the hand and feed.
I mean, that's such a more convenient position to put those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
You don't have to lift up your shirt in public,
Says the three guys that don't have boobs. Just saying.
Are the boobs more convenient place?
Hey, have you seen my COVID boobs?
I've never breastfed anyone. Don't fucking ask me.
I'm just saying. You would think you'd be able to position exactly where you need to with your hand. It would be a much better way to do it.
If you're holding the kid
to your face,
if you're holding the kid in your arm and you're looking down at the kid, boobs seem to be about a good area.
I'm not going to argue with that. That's good logic.
Position also. I have to agree. Heather's right.
I can see the point of view.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Both points of view.
Yeah, Patrick will never know that.
I've been with women. Okay, thank you very much.
No.
I'm not a gold star gay.
That was and then he goes and he's like, "What is this?" He's like, "It's good. Can I have some more?" And then the cook comes back in with the plate, and they talk about him. Was about to walk it off.
That's hilarious. I'm I'd love to see a close up of his reaction just as he turned around and walked away because that would have been so fucking funny.
Yeah, and I'm thinking if they weren't talking about Trip before, now everyone's going to be talking about Trip after that.
Because once the kitchen knows, everybody knows.
Everyone knows.
That's for sure. I was just in the captain's room feeding, and did you know what they said about Trip?
Yes. You guys would not believe what I just heard.
He's preggers.
He's got something weird going on. He's wearing a maternity shirt.
He's got a phasic coil in the nacelle.
I just love the line Phlox had. That nipple may not be the only surprise.
Yeah.
Right.
What? Oh my God.
Or you might be putting those nipples to work before you know it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine as a guy's thinking like, where's that baby going to come out from?
Oh.
I'm like, beam it out. I don't care. Beam it out.
Dude, the alien chest burster.
Well, it was an abdominal pregnancy, so it was a side chest, so it'd probably be a chest burster.
Yeah, it'd be a chest burster. It'd be an alien chest burster. That's how we freaking give. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the movie Alien tonight. You want to watch Trip? Come on, we got a great movie for you tonight.
He would be like, "Fuck you guys."
Yeah, he would.
Oh, by the way,
what are you watching tonight? We're watching Aliens tonight. Oh yeah.
If you guys haven't figured this out already, this podcast is not meant for kids. Just so you guys know, forgot to.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, go away now.
If you guys are still listening, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
Turn it off and go away. And don't snicker and think we don't know.
Hey, wasn't this the first time we've seen a Klingon battlecruiser?
Yeah, it was the first time.
It's the first time we've seen a Klingon battlecruiser, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was cool. I thought that was a highlight of the show. It was like, oh my God, it's a Klingon ship. It's a battle cruiser.
Wasn't it the first mention of Stovacor?
That could be.
That I don't know.
I may have said
I know it was
I think they talked about it. He said Stovacor in the first episode because they talked about eating the afterlife, and he said Stovacor.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
but they didn't explain it. Yeah, nobody knew what it was.
I sure didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the first time we've heard them use the word patak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
And he didn't know that. And looks like Yoshi wasn't going to translate it for him because she was sitting there just like quiet. But the guy was all upset. He's like, we have a guy basically behind our ass of our ship and they're siphoning. That's an act of war. You don't be a Klingon to a Klingon. So
right, you don't get up around a Klingon's Uranus.
Yeah, especially without you don't want to surprise them there.
No,
and he was upset. But again, T'Pol showed her worth.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's the next section.
That's the next section. Should we move on to the next one?
Well, I just got to say though, the sensors are really tuned in now. Oops, the sensors are really tuned in now. The sensors don't give a shit about our show. The sensors were really tuned in now because they could detect that cloaked ship. They knew what to look for, and they could find it behind a fucking Klingon ship of all things. I thought that was kind of cool. When before the Suliban just kind of snuck up on them and took over their ship and attacked and stole a Klingon.
It's hard to find things around Uranus.
Yeah, it's a blind spot up your ass.
That should have been funnier than it was.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, that completely died. No more ass humor.
I was laughing on the inside.
Inside Uranus.
Yeah, there definitely was a right between the cheeks, so there were no cells. That's for certain. And you figured after what happened last time, they wouldn't have done that again.
Yeah, no, it's exactly the same thing. It's like you got to get somewhere. The warp drive ain't working. Oh, here's another ship. Perfect.
Well, it made me wonder because they're like, oh well, it lasted for a couple of days and then it died again. I'm like, did it really, or did you sabotage it? I mean, is it just your thing that you like to hide in the wake of other people's ships? And
you know what?
Maybe they're into it.
It may not have been. It may be the engineer. She's like, her goal is like, how's your scorecard? Well, I see. I got me a Terran. I got me a Romulan. I haven't got.
Now I got to get me a Klingon. Oh damn!
Right.
She's
on her bingo.
She's got a collection going.
On her bingo card.
Oh my god!
So let me go ahead and see.
Yeah, it made me wonder: was it on purpose, or were they really having that many problems with their freaking warp?
We'll find out in the next section. A little bit was a clue to that. So let's go ahead and see if we rescue the alien rapist. Go ahead.
Aye, Captain. So Act 4, Surrogate Father. The Enterprise crew does a cringe-worthy job of talking to the Klingons into agreeing, but they finally do so when Trip's pregnancy gives everyone something to laugh at. Trip gets the last laugh. Trip gets the last laugh when the Klingons put that rainbow Prism Room on board their ship. Luckily, it's early enough in the pregnancy that the baby can be transferred to another host. T'Pol can't help but point out that this is the first time in human history that a male has been pregnant. This is not the kind of famous Trip was hoping for.
Well, when the Klingons found out, man, they just were laughing their ass off. They're like, you stupid patak.
It was great. That was so classic. I mean, of all things, like, oh, that's okay. You guys are hilarious. That's what you humans.
It was going so terrible. Like, they were just bombing left and right. And finally.
Oh, they were about to blow both ships up.
Oh, yeah. And finally, they're like, well, he's pregnant. And then they just started laughing and laughing. They're like, okay, we like you guys.
So, like, you stupid humans. That's what you get for sticking it where you don't know where you're sticking it.
Right?
And they're like, no, that's not what happened. This is what happened. It's like, oh, they stuck it to you.
That's because you figured them as a warrior race.
Right.
And it's got to be the most hysterical thing ever. It's like, so what?
Yep.
You learned better. You got her pregnant. It's like, no, because the other way around. I'm the one that's pregnant.
Well, because Klingons stick it to you twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because don't they have two penises?
They got the double, yeah.
You get stuck twice.
Oh my!
Just the tips.
You could do it in.
Just the tips.
One of the pig, one of the steak.
Oh man!
Yes.
Oh, I can't believe I said that. I'm sorry.
Just the look on everybody's face, because you see Trip is like, oh, please don't tell them. And he's like, you gotta tell them.
You gotta tell them.
Gotta let them know.
He's like, show him your baby bum.
And the whole crew.
Yeah, Archer's like, how can we not tell them? Yeah. We have to tell them.
The whole crew was like, please. It's like, how is he going to lift this down? So I just wish they would show the aftermath of the crew, the lower decks talking about it.
That would be hilarious.
There had to be people talking about it.
Oh, that would be so
what
funny.
happened today on A shift? Well, on A shift.
Did you hear Trip stuck it where he shouldn't have stuck it and got it pregnant?
And the story will get worse and worse.
And he didn't even know.
I heard he stuck his fingers.
Yep, just like a bad game of telephone.
I heard she stuck his fingers in his butt.
Like, how do you not know you're pregnant?
It's like, seriously.
And then that on top of the fact, like the Klingons, the most freaking fierce, warrior-like, destructive race ever. And they have this prism room. That's a rainbow prison room full of glitter and like sparkly stuff. And it's like they're excited about it. It's
they
like
get really upset when somebody turns that off.
Oh my God.
My pony.
When they turn it on, though, he's like, I can see my home from here. This thing's awesome.
I can see my house from here.
That was funny when he said that.
It looks glorious.
That was so funny.
It was their Sarah Palin moment. I can see Russia from here.
That's where Sarah Palin got it from,
Yep.
That was funny. And they had the rainbow room. It's like, My Little Pony is an acceptable warrior.
Well, that's true.
And then to Paul lying to the Klingons. I mean, come on.
She exaggerated. Yes.
She lied.
And did so with a straight face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She
It's
lied.
like, I don't recall him saying that we were brothers. It's like, the Klingons exaggerated, and I just took a page from their book.
Whatever works.
Yeah, and it did.
Yeah. The only other funny thing about this was the Trip had to endure not just once, but twice in one day going through that decom process with the Klingons in there. That room was not very big, and he's got 3 other Klingons in there with him. He said he smelled things, right?
No.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine the Klingons' flatulation?
I imagine they probably had a nice, juicy dinner before they went over and visited.
And the Klingons are in there tripping balls and everything. And oh, man.
Well, and Trip was probably face to face with one of their double-pronged penises.
Ew.
Would you be face to face with that, or would you be facing the other way?
Depends. Whatever you're into.
Ew.
I'd be clawing my way out of there.
It was definitely a interesting episode, and they took a chance. They turned around and they had somebody, a male person, get pregnant with date rape. So
the only real lesson from this is just, don't stick it where you don't,
Where it don't belong.
Just watch where your hands are going.
I mean, there was no real moral story.
If somebody says, here, put your hands in here, well, let me scan that first. Let me figure out what I'm putting my hands into.
Physical distance, 6 feet away.
It was a very, again, it was interesting.
I did like, though, that she's all like, oh, she looks healthy. And Trip's like, oh, it's that little awe moment. This kind of,
it's a girl.
Dude, get it out of you.
It's like, I got a girl.
And now he'll never see the child again.
You know what, though? It had really nothing to do with him because it was
it
was just a holder
DNA.
for it. He wasn't like, his DNA was not involved.
He's a deadbeat dad.
Well, he would have been dead if he'd probably had to give birth to it.
Yeah, right?
I wonder if the series lasted long enough where it would make an appearance.
Oh, that would be a comeback.
That would be cool.
A comeback episode. Hey, Trip, we're here to stay. We got kicked out of our house. We need a place to stay.
No.
They did an alien DNA 23andMe and come back and find Trip. You're my daddy.
Turns out you are the dad.
That is so funny.
Yes, seriously. You are the father.
That's a spin-off sitcom.
They get Maury Povich in the future. You are the father.
It was definitely an interesting episode, and it was enjoyable. I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I bet Trip liked it.
Oh, yeah, well, of course he liked it.
Well, I mean, he got the pregnancy part without the pleasure part. I don't know about that.
He was having a good time with that game they were playing.
That wasn't worth a pregnancy over.
No.
I mean, come on, more than a minute, please.
Well, some guys only last a minute.
Yeah, a minute of pleasure for 9 months of torture.
He was really having a good time, though.
Actually, longer than that.
9 minutes. Well, I guess if it's really bad, it would be even the precursor to that would be bad, too. So 9 minutes of torture plus the 2 minutes of the actual start.
9 months. It'd be 1 minute of pleasure, 9 months of torture.
Well, did you see how fast that thing on his side grew? So we'd be lucky if he had 9 weeks.
They said he had 5 to
That's
6
a good
weeks.
point.
They said
Yeah.
5 to 6 weeks, Phlox did.
That's a good point.
So it was going to happen a lot quicker than you were expecting.
Okay.
Not a normal human pregnancy.
So, what's our homework for next week?
The next week's episode is going to be called Terra Nova. It's Enterprise tries to find out what happened on Terra Nova, the first colony attempted outside Earth's solar system.
And that
cool.
planet name sounds familiar if you watched the Discovery.
Ooh.
Terra Nova.
This is true.
Terra Elysium.
Oh, well, Terra Nova is like a neighbor or something, isn't it?
Terra Nova was a series on Fox.
That's
Well,
why
where
it
did you
sounds
get-
familiar. Okay.
Where'd you get your info from? JustTheTip.com?
I didn't say it was a good website. I just said it wasn't a website. We could get the name.
Well, thanks everybody for joining us for another wonderful episode. And thanks for all you guys that showed up for the premiere. It's really awesome with having you listen to us live and in person while we banter in the chat room. So it's friggin' cool. Be safe out there. And please remember, just don't have a great week, but make it so.
Starfleet Underground, beaming into a podcast feed near you. Log on to our website at starfleetunderground.com and send your comments and questions to thecollective@starfleetunderground.com. Follow us on Twitter at StarfleetUnderG and on Facebook and Instagram, we're Starfleet Underground.